Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Gems, the podcast where you get all the tools you need for your epic glow up. Relax, whip up a delicious treat, and let's talk. How to be consistent. This is our topic for today. Let's face it. All of us have been in that situation where you've decided, you've made up your mind to do this one thing that's going to change your life for the better. You've got a good start the first couple of days, but as time passes, your motivation slowly dips and then whoops. When was the last time you did it again? Last Friday? Or maybe a month ago? And then repeats the cycle of unfulfillment and failure, making you feel worse about yourself. And now a wave of negative thoughts come crashing in. Well, I'm here to tell you how to stop that. Let's talk about it. In the super duper famous book, Atomic Habits, James Clear explains that people are more focused on things like their goal and their self-image that they overlook just how important the process of getting to that goal is. To put it simply, goals are indeed important, but it's the system. The habits you make to achieve that goal are what you need to pay attention to. Yes, it's not sexy showing up at the gym where everyone can see you looking like an idiot trying to work that arm machine you've never even used before. Yes, it's embarrassing when you're doing your best to express yourself in a foreign language and the native speaker is already going on easy mode on you and you still don't understand what they're saying, even after a year's worth of busting your butt to learn the language as much as possible. And yes, it is frustrating when your fingers hurt so bad from practicing the guitar for a whole month and you still can't play that song you've been wanting to play. Sorry to burst your bubble, but it's going to be like that for a while. Comfort is the biggest enemy to change. But you know what you'll gain if you keep it up? Better triceps, conversational language skills, the ability to express yourself through music, not to mention a healthier lifestyle, connections with people you'd never thought you'd be able to communicate with, maybe even a raise for being bilingual, endurance, and most of all, the ability to say, I did it. And it starts with something small. So, how do you start? Start by doing something super duper simple every day. Remember, you cannot transform if you don't learn how to love yourself. Do not be overcritical and go easy on yourself. A baby must learn how to crawl first before they can learn how to walk. And you must learn how to walk first if you want to learn how to run. It sounds like I'm preaching the obvious, but that concept applies to everything else. I, for one, am especially guilty for being hard on myself. I remember crying over not being able to read a Japanese news article in its entirety after 2 years, even though I was finally able to understand simple conversations in native speed. What I have yet to understand at that moment is that it takes more than just effort to learn over 2,000 Japanese characters. My entire school career, I was so used to getting A's by just exerting effort. And with only 2 years and some effort, I have only scratched the surface of the language. Now I'm happy to report that I have yet to conquer Japanese, but I can now read the newspaper. But what I want you to know is that it took a bajillion tiny mistakes for me to get here. And if you ask Any Japanese native speaker acquainted with me, they'll tell you, though probably not in front of my face, that I'm still making them. Do not be afraid of the little mistakes you make. Be afraid of never knowing what could have been if only you kept going. Here's an exercise I recommend to help you start. Get a dedicated space to write on or type your thoughts on every day. Remember, you're going to be using this every day. Pick something accessible and easy to use. It could be a notebook, a notepad, the notes app on your phone. I mean, heck, it could even be a napkin for as long as you're able to keep track of it. Just so you know, for those of you who've always wanted to start a journaling habit, this could be your time to start. After you've decided on your writing platform, here's what you do. Write one thing you love about yourself. It doesn't matter how stupid or how little you may think it is. If it's something you love about yourself, then write it down. Here are some examples just in case. I love how I can eat 2 burritos in one sitting. I love how I can cook for people. I love the left side of my face. Run out of things to love about yourself? Write compliments from other people. If you remember some compliments people gave you in the past, then great, you can use those. Now would also be a good time to start collecting compliments. Start being conscious of the good things that people say about you. Even if you don't believe it, take note of it because everything counts. The first compliment that I put in my collection was from a coworker of mine. It basically went like this. I am so glad that you were assigned here. I honestly wouldn't know what to do if you weren't here. You always save the class with your quick thinking and the kids love you. You're going to be here too next year, right? These words never fail to make me feel warm and happy. On days that you feel like you need a boost, these are going to be the little nuggets that could motivate you throughout your glow up process. So treasure them. Just to let you know, the compliment collecting is not my own idea. It's from the author Matthew Dix. Really recommend his books. Anyway, if you take the advice from this episode and stick to it, you will have made your first step to consistency, built a journaling habit, and created the first item in your very own self-love first aid kit. So what are you waiting for? Get out there and glow up. I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Gems. Stay tuned for next week's episode and don't forget to be a better you. See you next week.